Lisa, you and I have talked about this meeting that happened on December 18th into December 19th. Special Counsel Jack Smith is presumably talking about it with his own investigators right now. And I guess I'd love both of your perspectives. I'll start with you, Lisa.
Big news.
What this meeting represents to them in the larger investigation into Trump's role on January 6th.
I think it represents two things, and let me start with the second one first. That meeting is the pivot point, and you talked about this in your introduction. Somehow between December 18th and the early morning of December 19th, Trump's theory of the election fraud morphed from some sort of dominion voting, foreign interference theory to let's focus on state legislators. Let's see what we can do.
Democrats cheated in so many different ways.
To the Capitol to protest, be there, will be wild. And one of the things I think might be interesting to prosecutors is that after the White House staff left the meeting that night, there were a few people that were still in the room with President Trump for maybe up to an hour. And those people include Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani, and Sidney Powell. And exactly what
I can't believe someone watches this and thinks that they're informed.
And Pat Cipollone and Derek Lyons, part of the White House staff,
Team
left.
Normal, as they call themselves.
Team Normal,
Team
who had already
Normal.
been at wit's end with Team Crazy.
Team Crazy.
Sidney Powell and Byrne and Flynn, almost coming to fisticuffs with them, right? What happened after Team Normal left, I think is of central interest to prosecutors here.
Christy, it's meaningful because
Listen to this other
it
girl.
shows this
Women.
ADBC sort of like transition to the January 6th plot, right? And intent, but also the fact that Team Normal was in the room super relevant here too, right? Because it's, and correct me if I'm wrong, it would be evidence that Trump knew what he was doing was fraudulent, right?
Listen. Absolutely. So you have the grown-ups in the room who are saying there was no election fraud. You lost every lawsuit you brought. And this is completely bogus, and these plans.
I have seen so many Democrats go to prison for election fraud in the 2020 election. Fake news.
From the three stooges that are in the room.
You're the three
Flynn,
stooges,
Powell,
honey.
And the Overstock guy, Patrick Byrne. These plans are preposterous.
You're
You can't
preposterous,
possibly
liar.
declare martial law. You don't have the authority to have military come in and seize these voting machines. And so when you have the Byrne saying this is what's going on, you then have Trump having knowledge and understanding what's going on. And so at that point, what does he do? Now you have that tweet, and that is central to his state of mind. Right? What is his intent here?
Tell us.
These other plans didn't work. I still want to lie. I still want to cheat. And I still want to steal this election. So how am I going to get there? Well, I'm going to come up with a new plan.
She just told us what Trump was thinking. Unreal.
Fire up my base, inflame them, tell them still, even though I know there's no election fraud, tell them there's election fraud and to be there and to stop the count. There's intent, there's motive, there's knowledge. It's a great piece of evidence for the prosecutors, and that's why they're focused.
And it's also a great piece of evidence. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, I did not go to law school.
Obviously.
Like both of you.
Like both of you.
But it's not a privileged conversation, right? You can't hide behind this, Lisa, because of the presence of people like Sidney Powell and, Patrick Byrne, right? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Christy and I can both tell you that there is no privilege in this conversation. There's no
Fake news.
attorney-client privilege.